Buenos tardes. Anyway, this is Mr. E. I'm coming in with you with a transmission here. Just a little bit of news and just an explanation of, I don't know if it's an explanation or what you want to call it. It's like kind of what I've noticed what is going on, really. So, really what's going on is you're living inside a description. Somebody has described this world to you, and you're living inside of it. And we all agree with it, so that's what makes it so. And you spin it into reality. There's nothing out there. We're doing it. We're creating it all the time. So all these distortions and stuff, they're inside us. I'm pretty well sure of this by now. And I got a news flash. There's a transequatorial corona hole facing Earth right now. So the solar winds are going to increase like crazy within the next 3 days. So expect to see some big changes in the next 3 days. I think it's the solar winds that are doing it. They're just going to do some stuff that maybe everybody doesn't like, but all it's going to do is just probably alter the description you've been told. So don't be surprised if everything changes. And that's not a bad thing. To really get the totality of oneself, you have to stop the world. And to stop the world, it really has to do with an internal dialogue. And an internal dialogue, ego, it's really not you. So I'll explain more about that later. It's really not your mind talking to you. So I know that doesn't make sense right now, but it will in the future. But think about it. Ever since you've been born, you've been using these eyes, and then everybody's been telling you what everything is. And so that's your description, and so you live into it. And what it does is it locks us into a box, into this prism. It's called rationality. That's not reasoning. It's your reasoning. It's reason that locks you in here. All we are perception beings. We're beings of perception. So that's all we do. That's all we really are, is a point of perception. And somehow along the way, we got tricked into listening to this stuff and telling us how our perception should be of the world. And then we bought into it, and now that's what makes it so. Because we're the ones creating it. We're the guardians. We're the Stargate keepers. We're whatever you want to call it. The first ring of power. The first ring of power creates all this. It spins it into existence continually. Just spin it into existence, and it goes around and around and around. And people live their entire lives not knowing that there's anything else. But I'm telling you that once you stop that world, you'll see what I mean. There's a lot more. It is not what you've been told it is. So there's ways you can practice to stop the world. There's certain practices you can do, and we'll go into that in future videos. But right now, it's just know that the key to it is to silence your mind, and then maybe the magic begins. It's all about what your attention is on as well. There's something they call a second attention, and that is that's hard to explain. Hard to explain the second attention, but once you've seen it, Once you know it's there, it's always talking to you. It's always there. Sorcerer knows it's there. He knows it, and it becomes his will. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what your will is. A warrior is waiting, and what is he waiting for? He's waiting for his will. And once a warrior's gotten his will, then he's become a sorcerer. He has an ally. Um, and that sounds pretty simple, but it's really not. The road, this path is treacherous, and it's frightening, and the enemies are formidable, and there are some enemies you have to conquer. They're not what you think. It's not what you think. So I'm just going to go into this a little bit because what it helped. It assisted me in oh, wow, I don't even know how to explain it. It's mind-bending, mind-blowing, altering realities. It's just crazy. But I can tell you that we're energetic beings, and not this physical suit, flesh and bones, and material objects that they've told us we are from day one. And you'll see, mark my words, you'll see in the future all these medical institutions, they'll be labeled as like death camps. Yeah, people used to go to death camps to try to get better. It's crazy because they don't know anything about health there. It's like the worst place you could send somebody to get better, because what they do, they sterilize everything. There's no frequency running around. The only frequency is the death. Yeah, let's send them there. It's a death camp. They kill everything there, even any microbes, anything, everything. They try to kill. You know, you're better off not fucking with them. I'm just telling you. And I don't care if I don't really care what you do to my channel because I said that. I don't really care. It's the truth. The hospitals and the medical institutions are nothing but a death camp. And I think some of them know what they're doing, and I think some they just don't care because the money's so good and they're just drunk on power, just drunk with it. And it's really distorted, man. It's hard for me to look at. I mean, we're here to clean that up. At least that's one of my missions anyway. Just kind of put a monkey wrench in some of this stuff. But I don't know what. It's just not what it appears to be. So, a lot can get accomplished behind the scenes where nobody's watching. And so that's where I work, is behind the scenes, in the dream world, in the etheric. Because really everything trickles down from a higher dimension and then it becomes physical reality. So you can alter everything up here before it goes down to here, if that makes sense. It's just, that's the nature of reality. So once you learn how to operate in these higher dimensions, then you have a good chance of bending this reality here. That becomes also the second ring of power, where you can use the second attention and intent and your attention to create. And it's not really what I want, it's really what Source wants, what intent itself wants. What does power want to do? What what does nature want? So you have to really connect with everything, because once you stop the world, you'll see that you're part of everything. And you're very much a part of it, and you're connected to everything, and there is nothing outside of you. You are it. And you are the universe. It's fucking amazing, man. And I don't know what else to say. I'm just so moved by it every time I remember it or go there, which is as much as possible. Because I get more done taking a nap than I do staying awake sometimes. Because my higher self is my shadow self is way more powerful. My energetic self, my dreamer, can accomplish miracles in light speed, like quantum speed. And they're teaching me how to quantum live. It's quantum living now. It's not the same. You're not going to live the same. I warn you. This will destroy your world. It will cease to exist if you go on this path. There's no turning back. There's just none. You can't. There's no going back. It's just because back doesn't exist anymore. It's not there. What exists is just a dream. Once you realize it's all been just a dream, oh, baby, I don't know what to say. It's been a wild ride. I'm having fun. Got my eyes open a little bit today. I have to look at my own energy all the time and see where I'm being drained from. And you can tell there's other people, there's other beings involved in that doing. So we'll go into more of that lately. Right now it's just the world is not what it appears to be, and it's just really just a description of what they've told you it is. And if you'll notice, I don't know how to explain it, but just I want you to become aware of it. Once you become aware that this is just a description, and that it's just your mind creating this whole thing. Just see if you can notice that you're in a dream. Just set the intention that you're walking around in a dream, and see if you can practice staying awake, and see how people will treat you. Just do that test. Go down the street and intend that you're the dreamer and you're the one controlling this reality and you're awake, and see how the people act differently, if they do or not. Go into a crowded space and check it out. Just test things out. See if things aren't a little bit different, or try and look at things differently, not how you usually do. Try and look at them like at the opposite, or even not look at them at all. Or see, we won't want to make a mistake of just making another description of this reality. We want to really just stop it, because then the magic happens. And it takes practice, man. I'm still practicing. You have to gaze. All sorts of stuff you have to do to practice this. Is it worth it? Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, because then you get you back. So, I still haven't figured out how to do live YouTubes. And I got a whole bunch of pictures from our vacation we'd like to show you. But you see, that's just a description too. I'm just going to describing stuff to you. I'd rather talk about this, where how, from the minute you got in here, everybody's been describing stuff to you, and it's almost to the point where it's been abusive. Actually, well, it has been abusive to a lot of us. Most of us have been abused because of the control and the. I don't think they intended it to be that way. It's just how they were taught. There's nobody's fault. It's just, that's the way it was. That's the way it is. And so everybody just got caught up in this big circle, and humanity got trapped in a mind fuck. And I'm here to say we can bust it. We can bust out of this prison. So let's call it a prison break. Why not? And why don't you come have fun with me? Leave a comment. If you have any questions, I'll leave my email in the description below. You're welcome to email us. That actually goes to my wife, and she'll let me know what any questions there are. And we're going to have a website coming soon, and we're going to do some energy work. Pretty amazing stuff that was taught to us because, we figured, why not? We have these abilities now. Let's figure out how to hone them in and use them. And so we found a few people that were like us, and they taught us what they knew. And there's some amazing stuff. We can do some healing properties here, healing modalities. Because real healing is really energetic work. The problem with the disease is there's a dis-ease going on inside the energetic fields, and we need to realign those and eliminate the distortions. And you'll be surprised how well this will work. It's worked for me. I've cured myself. I can't tell you how many times. Well, we won't go into that. I don't like talking about that shit anymore. But anyway, I had a wild ride, and I don't think I was meant to live that. I mean, there's another thing we're going to talk about is death, and what your relationship is to that, because really they've described it wrong there too, because everybody thinks they're going to live forever, and I'm here to tell you, I don't see too many people getting out of here alive, and they may think they're going to live forever, but I'm telling you, by the time they figured out that they're going to die, the old age has got them. So you got to be careful. It's just a description. So anything I'm saying is just another description. Just remember that. Nothing I'm saying is the truth. Anything. I'm not speaking the truth. I am, but it's just like you make your own truth. So you know what that is, and you know it because it's in your heart. You got to go inside the heart. The heart's going to tell you what's going on. There's an upper heart. Anyway, we are so amazing. Once you get to see what we really are, it's an amazing deal. So stay tuned. Like I say, well, you're welcome to email us. Even if you want some energetic services, we can do a scan and see what's going on with you, and then go from there. That's where we recommend you start, is with a biospiritual scan. We're metaphysicians, and so my wife's actually licensed in the medical profession industry, and so I've had a lot of training myself as well, and we could probably do some energetic work that would help you if you're having some pain, suffering. Because you know what, some of this stuff can actually be painful because there's a lot of frequency. This energy stuff is nothing to mess around with. It is powerful. And if you're not working it right, it can hurt. It can actually do quite a bit of damage to you, so you got to be careful. And some people don't know what the heck they're doing. There's a lot of people out there on the internet that don't know what they're doing. I'm just telling you. And you got to be careful. So just keep that in mind. If you have any questions, just go ahead and shoot us an email. Like it, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe, and we'll talk to you later.